All right, guys, we are live. All right, you see the Four Corner Sports hoodie? Gonna be more coming soon. All right, guys, welcome to First and Goal. I'm your host, Flav Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so we have a lot to talk about. The NFL season is about to officially end, and I'll just kick it off with the breaking news that just ended up happening. So, Dwayne Haskins officially got released by the Washington football team. Ron Rivera and the Washington football team executives ended up releasing a statement saying that they officially had parted ways, that they felt like it was best for them to move on in a different direction. And look, I think there's more to it than that. I think it's just like the level play of Dwayne Haskins has been great. I mean, it hasn't lived up to a top 10, what a top 10 quarterback should look like if being selected. And man, did not live up to the hype. I mean, look, it's crazy to think because, like, look, in 2 years that he's been in the NFL, you get cut, and it's not even like a complete 2 years because he had 1 week left. He had 1 week left, and for it to be officially 2 years, and so ended up getting cut. Ended up getting cut. So what happens with Dwayne Haskins next? What happens with him is I don't think that he gets picked up anytime soon. I think NFL scouts, any NFL teams, gonna want to see him mature because that's one thing that is gonna come with him is just maturity. You see how it is. I mean, there was an episode on YouTube on how he spent his money, buying all flashy jewelry and stuff like that. You really come to think of it. I mean, like the NFL dream could be done for Dwayne Haskins. I mean, at such a young age, I think he's like 22, 23 years old. I mean, crazy to think you work your whole life just to get to it, and then you're officially done before it really gets started. So I think he's gonna have to get mature. I think he's gonna develop his skills. I personally have felt that he went into the NFL draft a little bit too soon. I think with 1 year of college experience of him starting was not enough. I think he needed to be in there for the full 4 years. I mean, he was under a great stewardship in Ohio State, led by Ryan Day and that whole staff. I mean, look, guys, I mean, he had it all, but he wanted to go into the NFL. Fair enough. I mean, you chose this route. So now what do you end up doing? I think he sits out a year, develops his skills, gets signed for a backup. Now he fills in case somebody gets hurt. So I think that a team like maybe he goes into Houston, learns by, somebody close to his age, like Deshaun Watson, goes into he could also go to the Colts. I mean, if the Colts want to pick him up so he could learn by Phillip Rivers, who's been around the game, never won a title, got to AFC Championship game, never won a title, but he could show him the ropes on how to be a true, leader. What's it called? Lead by example and stuff like that, and get taught by one of the better quarterbacks ever play this game. Whether you guys think about that or not, but I mean, he is. I mean, look at his longevity right now. His longevity is pretty great. So I think that might be the best option for him. And then in other news, the Jets are officially the number 2 pick, which means the Jacksonville Jaguars are officially on the clock, most likely going to end up getting Trevor Lawrence. So since we already know what's going to happen with the Jacksonville Jaguars, what's next for the Jets? I personally think, I've been saying this for quite some time, it's not wise to draft Justin Fields. If they had a number 1 pick, I would have maybe ended up going in with what's his name, Trevor Lawrence. But number 2 pick, no, I'm not taking that chance on Justin Fields, especially not with the number 2 pick. I'm actually going to trade back in the draft. I'm going to try to accumulate more draft picks. I'm going to try to, boost up that offensive line, especially get Sam Darnold some weapons, man. You got to get him a solid tight end, get him some great receivers. I mean, I don't know what the Jets are thinking right now. He's throwing to Jamison Crowder, Bernard Perriman. I mean, those are not true number 1s. He needs a true number 1, and the Jets really need to learn how to develop their players. So that's where I'm going with. I think Sam Darnold comes back next year. I don't think he gets upseated by getting picked by Justin Fields. I mean, I'll be shocked. I kind of won't be shocked because it would be a very Jets-like thing to do, but I don't think it's a smart decision. So by the Jets end up beating the Cleveland Browns, that means that the AFC North is officially clinched by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh has been playing, I gotta say, pretty awful the last couple of weeks. They picked it up against Indianapolis. I mean, got the job done. So now Pittsburgh is the AFC North champs, and Cleveland looks like they going to be the wild card. Going to be going in 10-win season. So yeah, and what's it called? Speaking of the Washington, getting back to the Washington football team, since they ended up losing, now it's a three-race team, a three-team race against the Washington football team, the New York Football Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys to see who is going to go to the playoffs and who is going to be the winner of the NFC East. I mean, the NFC East has been atrocious this whole year. Has been looking that great. I personally think that Washington blew an excellent opportunity on winning, but no Dwayne Haskins. I mean, for reasons, they ended up having him sit down just because they were ready to get rid of him. Alex Smith is still injured. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back for Week 17. If he doesn't, that does not look good for Washington. I think Washington does not make the playoffs, so then it will just come down to the winner between the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Giants ended up losing bad against the Baltimore Ravens, which was very expected just because Baltimore looks like they're getting into their groove. You know, rolling at, you know, the way that he normally does. Took advantage of a very mediocre Giant squad. I mean, they were on a upward spiral after winning 4 in a row, but everything went downhill after last week. So, yeah. I think it was after the Cardinals game. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So, now it's going to come to, I personally think that the winner between the Giants and the Cowboys are going to be representing the NFC East. I think the Giants have a good, favorable matchup. Their defense, you know, goes really well against the Cowboys. I think as long as Daniel Jones does not commit any turnovers, I think we should be great as a unit. But that's it's neither here nor there. And right now, currently playing is the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills ended up wrapping up the AFC East for the very first time. I think it was in 25 years. Remarkable. Josh Allen's been playing phenomenal. I think this guy's a future MVP in the making. And I think Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots are going to regroup and retool this offseason. I think they're going to get better. I think they'll make the playoffs next year. I don't know what's going to happen with Cam. Does he come back? Does he not come back? Who knows? And then lastly, not a surprise, Kansas City, when they get the number 1 seed, they have home field advantage. That means they get a first-round bye. Everybody else has to play in the wild card round. So Kansas City will see their next opponent in the AFC divisional round after Week 17. So really good move by Kansas City. They got the job done. Pittsburgh, they ruined it. They were actually undefeated for the first 11 games, if I'm not mistaken. So now Pittsburgh is playing the divisional round. All right, guys. Until then, thank you for tuning in to First and Goal. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you already have gotten to this portion of the video. Comment on anything that I have said, whether you agreed or disagreed, or what do you want me to talk about next. All right, guys. Until then, I'll see you guys at a later date, and you guys stay safe out there, right? Peace, guys, and have a good one.